All right, more action coming to you from the Central Ohio Delaware County Fairgrounds, the 75th anniversary of the Little Brown Jug. Those races to come up in a little while. A couple of Twitter messages here. Mark Brown saying, heck of a catch by the Outrider. Well, yeah, it sure was. Nice job, Jasmine Arnold. Bobby Pizzullo, the best $24.99 I spend every month is on RTN. So it gets to watch all the action in Illinois. Thanks, Bobby. We know you are tuned in, and we know you've got that betting account fired up. So on we roll. Steve, Buckeye Stallion Series action, 2-year-old Colton Gelding Pacers. We've got the second division here. Full field of 8 for $17,500. And I do want to announce a scratch. I don't know whether this has been announced yet, but in the 12th race, take out the 1 BBT. Dexter Dunn was scheduled to drive. We want to get you that information as soon as possible because you might be playing a multi-race wager or planning your supers or perfectas. So again, in the 12th race, take out number 1 BBT. Current favorite right now, it's never a surprise when the fans flock to driver David Miller. Brighter Days draws the rail. Best post that he's had in quite some time, and the presence of Mr. Miller always makes a difference.
Yeah, Mike Pohemus has had a heck of a year. This is one of those colts that's raced mostly at the fairs, but he's been in some Stallion Series races enough that he's currently 9th in points and needs a good performance today to lock down a start in that October 3rd Buckeye Stallion Series Championship night at Hollywood at Dayton.
Number 3 is King's Cruiser. He was the 5-2 morning line favorite for Jeff Nysonger, and he is the co-owner and trainer on this one, along with Mark Ader. Lebanon, Ohio, and then Grove City, Ohio. Short rest, though. Are you a fan of the short rest thing?
I think a lot depends on the horse. I think most trainers can gauge that pretty well. I mean, they generally don't try to overstress a horse intentionally. This horse last raced on the 19th. We'll see. Jeff Nysonger generally has his horses ready to go. I mean, he owns a piece of this. We call Jeff the king of the fairs anymore. I think this horse will be a factor in here. It has not raced in the Stallion Series that I can see based on his past performance lines.
And one gelding moving to a much tougher post tonight this afternoon would be the 6 Rose Run Warner here. Dan Noble drove to a good second-place finish at huge odds. And who beat him in that particular race?
Yes, Charlie May.
Well, that's got to be a good company line there. Hey, B and Coney, where were you when that horse was loose?
I was on the OHHA show, actually, but I was hiding under a chair. It was race secretaries afraid of horses. But that was 14th race 2, Marrakesh Express. They said if the vet checks him out and he's fine, he'll still race.
Wow, that's awesome news.
Yep.
All right, we'll find out soon enough. 10th race, Pacers on the track.
Stepping to the track for the 10th race, Buckeye Stallion Series, second division, 2-year-old Colton Gelding Pace at 1 mile. A purse is $17,500, offering win, play, show, perfecta, trifecta, superfecta wagering, a field of 8. There are no changes. Being led to the post by the 1 Brighter Days, owned in partnership by DWS Stables, Mike Pohemus. They're both of the Buckeye State, trained by Mike Pohemus with the Buckeye, David Miller. Trevor Smith drives the 2, Amore Cruiser. For Carter of Londonderry, Ohio, Mossberger of Washington Courthouse, Ohio, Paltani of Sagamore Hills, Ohio, trained by Steve Carter. The 3 is the Nysonger Stable LLC of Lebanon, Ohio, and Mark Ader of Grove City, Ohio's King's Cruiser, trained and driven by Jeff Nysonger. The 4 is Bobby Carter of Waverly, Ohio's DC Rockin' Moon Dancer, trained by Bobby Carter, Dexter Dunn. The 5, Feelin' Western, owned in partnership by the VIP Internet Stable LLC of Piscataway, New Jersey, and Joseph Rotella of Liverpool, New York, trained by Brian Brown, Chris Page. The 6 is Rose Run Warner, owned in partnership by Kimberly Daly, and Here's the Stock Incorporated, both of Ohio, trained by Kim Daly, Dan Noble. The 7 is Illini Duke, owned and trained by Brian Roebuck of North Lewisburg, Ohio, with Cameron McCow. Into the outside of the 8, Woody 2, owned by Laura Baker of Galloway, Ohio, trained by Jim Artledge Jr., Brett Miller in the sulky. That's the field for the 10th race, the Buckeye Stallion Series, 2-year-old Colton Gelding Pace. Second division at 1 mile. Win, play, show, perfecta, trifecta, superfecta wagering, a field of 8, no changes. Good luck, everyone.
Back at it here, post time for race number 10. Buckeye Stallion Series, 2-year-old colt and gelding pacer second.
Now, Dave, as the racing secretary, you have access to some of the pools and some of the betting action that's been going on so far today. And I see the big smile on your face. It's going very well.
It is. And, there was some concern because so much – it's different than a normal track where, like, a night at Northfield, 5% of the handle might be live and the 95 be sending. You know what I mean? Here, it's a lot different. They bet darn near $1 million on track on Jug Day, which obviously today is not going to happen unless Bateson really steps his game up. But no, they were very pleased with the sending today, and obviously, people miss the Jug and wish they were here, but some of them are still betting it.
And we've got our guaranteed pick 4 pools to come.
Yes, we got a $10,000 guarantee pick 4 starting in the next race, the 11th, and then the $15,000 guaranteed pool starts in the next pick 4, which is the first elim of the Jug.
Steve, every time you hop in the chair here on the set, there you fire up that Express Bet account. Have you been doing any wagering this week?
I've done a little bit, just to try to contribute to Delaware. This is a tough financial week for them, and I thought I would throw a few bucks their way. I don't have any real hot tips, but I have contributed to the pools.
They asked if you could just give your money to Dave and me directly rather than put it in there.
That'll be our paycheck probably.
Right.
So we need get out of town money. Hey, checking in on Twitter here. Here's a guy who is definitely involved in the business. Hunter Holton, watching the Jug at the Mogan household, home of Gold Digger King, with Z.A. Cray, Brady Galliers. Wish we could be there.
That'd be the son of Ryan Holton and the grandson of the Hall of Famer, Terry.
Hopefully they bet on Holton the other day. I mean, they didn't get much back in the win pool.
That was a great mile. Hats off to the Scott Mogan barn there. Excellent driven King Kaufman.
Yeah,
big mile.
That was probably one of the best stretch drives of the week so far. It really was.
Just inching out Black Hole.
Yeah,
that was a big win.
Yeah, Big Daddy Cool. Great racing so far. Can't wait for the Jug. Good job again. I'm watching, scrolling. I think I see something from Nick Salvi here. In my humble opinion, Dave Pallone is easily the most watchable interview of the week, enjoying the broadcast from the couch in Lex Vegas. That's our slogan for Lexington. Steve is a positive addition to the team. See you soon. Well, might be tomorrow, Nick. All right, so good stuff. Steve has been an incredible addition to the team, and we look forward to having him on each and every day.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, all right.
Be here early tomorrow, Steve.
Yeah.
I'll set my alarm.
Maybe we'll make him buy dinner tonight. We'll have to see about that. No, just kidding. Race 10 here. This is one of the most wide-open betting boards of the day I think we've had.
For sure.
The current favorite, my top pick, I just had a feeling I knew I wasn't going to get the 7-1 morning line. Feelin' Western. Chris Page is going to take over for Bo Brown. He has driven this horse, though, before, back in early August at Urbana.
Yeah, that was a Buckeye Stallion Series race, and Chris won by open lengths on that very fast half-mile track in Champaign County in 57-4 by 3 lengths. I've talked a little bit on the radio this week. Horses that are trained here, I think, have a slight advantage. It's a normal routine for them. They have their breakfast in their normal stall. They don't have to ship anywhere. They come out here on the track and like a training mile. And I think, the Brian Brown stable probably has a little bit of an edge over those that had to ship in. So I think that's probably a good pick.
Hey, Steve, does this thing need to win to get into the final?
It's 15th in points. I would say it needs to be first or second. For sure, it needs to be no worse than second. It's 15th in points. The 7 horse is 8th, Illini Duke. Brighter Days, the 1 horse is 19th, and the 2 horse Armor Cruiser is 19th. So all those horses need to finish well to make that final.
Number 3 is King's Cruiser. We talked about Jeff Nysonger being the trainer and co-owner on this one, along with Mark Ader of Grove City here. Still not really getting a whole lot of respect from the bettors, but win, lose, or draw, we're going to get the scoop afterwards because he's the next guy we have scheduled for the headset after that 11th race post-parade. So I'm hoping he wins so that he won't have to give us a bad story.
Right.
We need more good stories on the broadcast.
Jeff has a lot of good stories. He's had an excellent year. I thought he drove a big mile yesterday on Lane of Stone when that horse swelled up and won that. That was one of the more memorable things I saw from yesterday.
All right, so if you've got a question for Jeff, I might be able to find it and see it before we get to that interview. It'll be right immediately after the 11th race post-parade, so that'll give you about a good 10 minutes to get it in. Email it to me at dbrower@playmeadowlands.com or tweet it to EE Doogie or send me a Facebook instant message. I've been a little late on the draw getting the questions from the fans, and I do apologize.
You know, Dave and I talked a little bit about the universities that participate in equine programs. We have one in this race, Illini Duke. The North Louisburg, Ohio owned horse by Brian Roebuck was bought in the sale. That horse originated from the University of Illinois, was bred to Well Said. That mare, I think, resides at the University of Illinois.
All right. I know there's a good one up in New York. I think that's part of the SUNY program, State University of New York. 10th race, Buckeye Stallion Series Pacers, 2-year-old colts and geldings, $17,500 the purse.
They're at the gate. The gate is rolling. Still time, but you'll have to hurry. 10th race, Buckeye Stallion Series, 2nd Division, 2-year-old colt and gelding Pacers. Field of 8, moving up and moving in. The gate swings to the top of the stretch here in Delaware, Ohio, and here they come. This field is in motion. Banks out of the way. They're all fan pacing in a nice start here. Flashing speed in the middle of the track. DC Rockin' Moon Dancer. From the inside, there goes Brighter Days right alongside Amor Cruiser. Driving up on the outside, Illini Duke is placed on the go. Looking to land there in third. Just ahead of in fourth, DC Moon Dancer, rather. Fifth there, that's Feelin' Western. Followed in sixth by King's Cruiser. Seventh is Rose Run Warner. And eighth and trailing the field, Woody 2. Making their way to the opening quarter. The opening quarter was quick. 27-2. Into that far sweeping turn for the first time and being led up top by Brighter Days in the Buckeye. David Miller on the point here, leading it by a length and a half. And to the inside, Amor Cruiser is there racing into. Illini Duke is pacing along nicely in third, followed in fourth by DC Rockin' Moon Dancer as they pass by the stand for the first time and head on over to the half. First to flush to the outside, DC Rockin' Moon Dancer snagging that cover to the outside. Second over there, racing in five, Feelin' Western. They were halfway home, 56-4 fifth. And to the inside, racing in sixth, that's Rose Run Warner. Third over the outside, racing in seventh, that is King's Cruiser stacked up there. And eighth and trailing the field, Woody 2. Off the turn and driving down the backside. Heads are pointed towards three quarters. And up top here, Brighter Days. Brighter Days leading it by a tight length. And to the outside, DC Rockin' Moon Dancer there in second. And now swung up three high on the outside. Here comes Feelin' Western. Three quarters and 125-4 fifth. They'll pace the final turn and head for home. Brighter Days for the inside with a lead here. Inside racing into Amor Cruiser is looking for racing room, and from way back, here comes King's Cruiser, sent up four high. Less than a 16th to go here in Delaware, Ohio, and they're on the way home. Brighter Days is drawing clear. Brighter Days, gate to wire. Amor Cruiser to go second. King's Cruiser third. DC Rockin' Moon Dancer was fourth around the super time of the mile, 154-2. Brighter Days at a new lifetime mark.
There you heard Jason Settlemore spit out the good news. New lifetime mark today for Brighter Days, and the early money this time was the smart money.
It was. David Miller, first time behind the horse, made this look as easy as 1, 2, 3 as they came in.
And look at the odds, though. If you bet early, you benefited from the nice drift up in price, up to 9-2, and you get Dave Miller, and you get the rail at Delaware, Ohio. Dave, how come we didn't have this one on top?
Man, it was easy as 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think that's the first 1, 2, 3, 4 we might have had this week in that exact order. Brighter Days. You talked about Mike Palamas on this gelding, and they get all the cheese today.
Mike's had a really good year. Mike is a fellow OHHA director. A shout out to him. He's had a really nice year. Trains in Troy, Ohio.
He bred this gelding, and we haven't seen this name on the program too often this week, Woodstock.
Woodstock, which stands at Sugar Valley Farms, the Winter Circle sponsor. That stud Joe and Billy Walters have owned. I think it might have been the first pacing stallion that they stood in their new facility when it was new, 6-7 years ago.
Hey, and there was some movement in that race, and a lot of horses 3 and 4 deep. It finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Did it really? Straight all the way down. Yeah. Wow.
How about that?
Yeah, a couple of different big moves from the back. You saw Chris Page move Phelan Western 3 deep, and he hit the air and flattened out. Even further out was King's Cruiser, so that certainly wasn't the right trip for Jeff Meisanger. We'll get that explanation shortly.
He made the best of it, though. He didn't get it off the gate the best. He followed live cover, and he just kept on tipping out. He almost got out there to shake hands with the fence.
Here's Dave Miller. Back to the winner's circle in Delaware, Ohio.
Sugar Valley Farm Winner's Circle. Buckeye Stallion Series, second division, 2-year-old colt in gelding pace. At 1 mile, a purse of $17,500. From off the rail, the one Brighter Days. A 2-year-old bay gelding by Woodstock out of an R.H. Hannon. She by Real Artist. Owned by AWS Stables of LLC of Lima, Ohio, and Mike Paul Hamas of Troy, Ohio. Homebred, bred by Mike Paul Hamas of Ohio. Who also trains and partly owns. Nicely handled here this afternoon by the Buckeye, David Miller. Purple and white. Brighter Days at a new lifetime mark, 154 and 2/5.
Just give me a...
Well, I think this is going to be an easy top-to-bottom finish, but let's await the official order of finish from the judges.
Yeah, that's mine.
All right, in the meantime, we do have the prices, though. We can pay everybody off, and healthy prices they are. Number one, Brighter Days, $11.80, $6.80, and $3.20. The two, Amore Cruiser, $10.40 and $4.20. The three, King's Cruiser, $2.40. Your 50-cent Super, 1, 2, 3, 4, $162.55. And we'll cycle back to the other exotic payoffs in just a second. There they are. The Dollar Perfecta 1-2, pretty healthy, $52.30. The Try 1-2-3, $82.60, and that Pick 4, I think it was $86. So in the meantime, Jason now has the official rundown. Let's get it.
The one, Brighter Days, $11.80, $6.80, $3.20. Second of the two, Amore Cruiser, $10.40, $4.20. Third of the three, King's Cruiser, $2.40. $1 Perfecta 1-2, $52.30. 50-cent Try 1-2-3, $82.60. 50-cent Pick 4, we'll get back to it. 50-cent Super, 1, 2, 3, 4, $162.55. As we wait for it to cycle back, there's that Pick 4, 50 cents, $82.25. Well, this rundown's a little easy for everyone here. It's a barber pole finish. The one, Brighter Days, the race winner, 154 and 2. The two, Amore Cruiser, 2. The three, King's Cruiser, 3. The 4, DC Rockin' Moon Dancer, 4. The 5, Phelan Western, 5. The 6, Rose Run Warner, 6. The 7, Illini Duke, 7. And the 8, Woody 2, 8. It was as easy as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, top to bottom. Time of the mile, 154 and 2. Well, the upcoming 11th race, offering Win Play Show Perfecta Trifecta guaranteed $10,000 Pick 4 pool starts here. It's the Ohio Breeders' Championship, second division for the sophomore pacing fillies. They'll go for $46,021, sponsored by the Stable.ca. A field of 7, no changes. In the 12th race, second leg of that Pick 4, $10,000 guaranteed Pick 4 pool starting here in race 11. Scratch the 1, BBT injured. 12-1, BBT scratched injured. Well, the 13th race, the 3, Wrecking Crew, the driver is Dexter Dunn. Dexter Dunn will drive the 3, Wrecking Crew in the 13th. And then in the 14th race, it is clear. Good luck, everyone.
Thank you, Jason. And Dave, we're getting closer and closer and closer to that first Little Brown Jug elimination. That'll begin as race 15. But for now, we need a break. We're showing 9 minutes to post for race 11. Come on back because this is a big one. We've got a Pick 4 pool guaranteed at $10,000. Stay with us, folks.
Horse racing is a great sport. And now you can have a horse in the race. Own a little and love it a lot. The Stable.ca is an award-winning horse ownership experience. Purchase as little as 1% of a racehorse and pay a set monthly fee. No surprises, modest investment, low risk, and completely accessible and transparent operations. The Stable.ca offers a unique, engaging racehorse ownership experience and features great customer service and consistent updates about your horse. Our innovative video production team tracks your horse's training progress, and clients are encouraged to visit the horses at any time. Thestable.ca is right for harness racing. And if you want to have a horse in the race, it's right for you too. For more information about The Stable, email Anthony at thestable.ca or call 519-400-4263.
Bow River has been designing Little Brown Jug jewelry for over a quarter of a century. Go to bowriverjewelry.com to see our limited edition 75th anniversary Little Brown Jug pin and 50th anniversary Jugette pin under the Little Brown Jug tab. Browse our Standardbred collection, Equestrian collection, and our expanded Equestrian Bridal collection. bowriverjewelry.com. Original designs and quality you can trust.
Harris Hoosier Park invites you to an exclusive opportunity to bid on a 2021 breeding of the top 6 stallions in harness racing as part of the Breeders' Crown Charity Challenge. The breedings will be auctioned off at the 2020 Lexington Select Yearling Sale on October 6th at 6:45 p.m. at the Fazig-Tipton Sales Pavilion. All proceeds of the Breeders' Crown Charity Challenge will be donated to charity. Join us in person or bid online at www.lexingtonselected.com.
And we hope you will be part of that Breeders' Crown Charity Challenge, whether you're in person with us at the Lexington Selected Sale down in Lexington, or you can bid online. Very, very good cause, sponsored by the Liebfeld Cats Partnership. Look forward to hopefully seeing those guys down in Lexington. Hopefully they can get out of their home state of Canada, at least for a couple of weeks, to have some fun with us. Here's Mark Spangler messaging in. Hey, Dave, talking about Chuck Sylvester got me thinking about Old Raceway Park in Toledo. Yes, I'm dating myself here, but ask Steve if he remembers how they used to play the whistling theme to the bridge of the River Kwai about a minute or two before post time of every single race to remind you to get off your butt and get to the windows. Now, Dave Bianconi, Steve just left us. He's got some official duties here, but you seem like you remember
I do.
that.
I used to visit a little roadie to Toledo Raceway Park once in a while, and they play that song. If you've ever seen that movie, you'd know with the whistling, and it would be like, well, it's time to bet.
Okay, I at least have one question for Mr. Nysonger coming up. I'm not going to reveal that yet. We will wait for after the post parade. The big guaranteed pick 4 coming up, the first of our 2 of them. This is a pretty competitive race. Artful Dancer right now up there at 4 to 5, but we've been getting a chance to watch some of the jug horses warm up. In fact, going just by us, Mickey Burke Jr. just a second ago with his jug entrant number 1, See You at the Beach. There is, looks like Diamond Head. I think those are the colors of Eric Moeller, who will be participating in his first Little Brown Jug, as will driver Austin Siegelman. So guys getting their paces in. Again, just to give you a little scene set and weather update, it's been another unbelievably perfect day here. A very light wisp of a breeze from left to right here. Nice and sunny outside, and we're pretty comfortable here in the booth.
Yep. I've been getting hit up on Twitter by some of the usual suspects asking about 14-2 Marrakesh Express. That was the horse that was loose, but it has been checked out by the vet and is fine and is going to start for the Burke Barn. Now, you're an outrider, Wendy. I mean, is he... And the horse obviously didn't go down or anything, so.
No, I mean, that's what you want to happen. You just want to get him safe. And I remember we had an accident at the Meadows. Corey Callahan, if he's listening, he'll know he got dumped out by the drag. We were in the post parade, and I was over, and I caught it was a Mike Paul Halmas horse. He was Ohio guy, was racing over there in PA, but I actually caught the horse. He ended up finishing 3rd, going for like 60,000 that day. So that's all you got to do is keep him up, and then they don't leave the track. That's key too. I guess this horse seems fine, so it's good. Just everybody's.
He's just had to roam around the infield a little bit.
And good job by Jasmine Arnold helping out. So yeah, great job, and everybody's safe, and he's going to make the gate. And that's good.
Good.
Yeah, that's good news. We weren't 100% sure that was Jasmine. We are going to get a chance to talk to Missy though after the 12th race post parade. Been hinting at that yesterday. So, Wendy, how's your day going so far? The interviews have been good. The racing's been great. And I guess it can only get better from here.
Yeah, it's been a great day. I'm actually getting ready to take this jean jacket off. I think it's finally warming up. And, not wearing heeled shoes has been okay. Everything's going great.
That's what I like to hear.
Good interviews. It's just fun. It's just a great day.
How's your Twitterverse going? Anybody looking for shout-outs? Or
no, I mean, I
like
gave a few. It's weird. A lot of the Northfield horsemen are usually here.
Right.
But instead they're having it looks like a pretty good party at Northfield.
And we're missing that, of course, because we have to work. But that's normal for us. We're used to that. Wendy, you on Twitter?
Yeah, people are just messaging in and being kind. More on Messenger on Facebook. But, yeah, everyone's been real kind. And
all right.
hello to everyone.
The guaranteed pick 4, $10,000 kicks off with this Ohio Breeders' Championship. 3-year-old Philly Pacers.
Stepping to the track for the 11th ranks, the Ohio Breeders' Championship. Second Division 3-year-old Philly Pace at 1 mile, a purse of $46,021. Win, play, show, perfecta, trifecta, guaranteed pick 4 pool starts here. Races 11, 12, 13, and 14. Sponsored by thestable.ca. A field of 7. There are no changes. The one is Real Rockin' Ravi, owned by Steven Sexton of Xenia, Ohio, trained by Brett Schwartz with David Miller. The Buckeye. Danny Noble drives the 2, Artful Dancer, for Carter, Mossbarger, Lombardo, and Green. They're all of Ohio and Delaware, trained by Steve Carter. The 3 is Curran Racing LLC of Red Hook, New York's BJ's Rocket, trained by Jessica Milner with Kurt Sugg. The 4 is Alligator, owned by Howard Taylor of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, trained by Chris McGuire, Dexter Dunn. The 5 is Pen Paper Page, owned by Shirley Levan, Barrington Hills, Illinois, trained by Jeff Smith. Ty Smith is up. The 6 is PJ's Legacy, owned by Brown, Hutchinson, Ritter, and Kantorowicz. They're of Ohio and Florida, trained by Brian Brown, Ryan Stahl. And the 7 is Rock and Go BB by Burke Racing Stable, Pennsylvania. Frank Baldacchino of New Jersey, Weaver Brasimi of Pennsylvania, and Larry Carr of New Jersey, trained by Ron Burke. Chris Page is in her sulky. That's the field for the 11th race. Win, play, show. Perfecta, trifecta, guaranteed pick 4 pool starts here of $10,000, sponsored by thestable.ca. And in that pick 4, the 12th race, scratch the 1, BBT injured. 12-1, BBT is out injured. Of the 13th race, the 3 Wrecking Crew. The driver is Dexter Dunn. And then in the 14th is clear. Good luck, everyone. $10,000 pick 4 pool starts here.
Thank you, Jason. And starting in the back paddock with the headset on is driver Jeff Nysonger. Jeff, got to get the bad news out of the way first there. We just watched the trip that King's Cruiser got. I'm sure that's not the way you drew it up before the race.
No, I was hoping it would work out a little bit better. I kind of wanted to be first up or second over.
When you had to flip 4 wide on the last turn, how many horses can win from a spot like that over this trip?
Probably very few. You lose a lot of ground going like that.
How did he race overall? Because he's been a really good competitor for you all season.
I was pretty happy with him. This is his last start. Just kind of wanted to take care of him. Had some injuries early and had to put him back together, and just wanted to teach him a little before the end of the year.
So he didn't earn enough points to make the final?
No, this was his first Stallions.
Oh, okay. All right, you got it, King's Cruiser. All right, well, let's get on to some better news here. I got a chance to solicit a question from the fans via Twitter, Facebook, or whatever, and this is from Mark Ader, who happens to be the chief of police in the Union City, Ohio Police Department. Can you ask Nysonger if he has become the new king of the Ohio Fair Tracks, replacing Jack Daly? Let's hear it from the horse's mouth. Tell us what you think.
Well, unfortunately, you have to make money where you can, and I guess I'm not good enough for anything but the fairs, I guess.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Now, listen, let's bring up another good point of good news. How good was Lane of Stone yesterday?
He was pretty handy. I was pretty impressed on after his last start, how he came out of that. He was really good.
How special is it to win a race over this strip? You compete with these guys all season. Sometimes some of the more popular guys come in from the East Coast here, but when you roll with them, it's got to be a good feeling. Yeah,
they're better to drive with than a lot of the people at the fairs and stuff. You know, they drive once a week, or they just drive their own, and professionals are better to drive with.
All right, correct me if I'm wrong. It's a long time ago for me, but back to the first race on Sunday to kick off Little Brown Jug Week. Did you wire the field?
What was that again?
Did you wire the field back that first race on Sunday?
Sunday, yeah.
See, it's so far back for us we can barely remember. So right. You kicked off Little Brown Jug Week with a win.
Yeah,
that's the way to get it started, right?
Yeah, definitely. I thought I'd started out on the right foot.
Big Bucks Hanover, the guys in the truck are telling me. Maybe that'll refresh your memory.
It's been a long week.
I know. It certainly has for all of us. I think you've got one more steer left, so you've got to stick around until the 19th race. And this is another horse that's performed very, very well for you throughout the season on the fairs. Treasure Those Chips. You do that if you're a poker player, but I'll tell you what, when I look at her record this year, she's been awesome.
Yeah, she's a nice filly.
Jeff, it's Dave. Hey, Hey. I thought that the chief of police might have been calling to ask when you're coming back to work.
For sure, I need to.
Weren't you a police officer, or are you still a police officer part-time?
Well, I'm resource. I worked for about 6.5, 7 years, and the horses got to taking up too much time, so I had to let one thing or the other go, and my heart's in the horses.
That's great.
You had to stick with the horses. So.
For sure.
I know. We can never escape.
Can you imagine?
Jason, you know Jeff well, so go ahead.
Can you imagine Jeff Neisonger with a gun?
I know, right? Scary. I use a taser a lot.
Right. Pretty scary.
Oh, boy.
Jeff, how's the family? Talk about the wife and the kids a little bit.
Oh, they're great. 11 and 13-year-old daughters. They do a lot of horse shows, and they come to the track and help me a little bit with this epidemic that's going on. They've been to the track and helped me a lot this year, and a lot of sports.
That's great.
Yeah, speaking of that, how did you get through that 3 months when you really didn't have much work to do?
Well, my job kind of was the same, getting the young horses, 2- and 3-year-olds ready. So it really didn't affect me totally. We started a little bit later maybe, but I was still prepping all the young horses.
Now, I'm sure you were watching yesterday. You were here with us or whatever. Give us your impressions of a really special performance by Party Girl Hill. What did you think of her mile?
It was amazing. Great horse.
When was the last time you sat behind a great horse like that?
Well, I don't get that opportunity a lot. There's a lot of guys better than me, and I'm actually just blessed to drive Lena Stone. Mark's pretty loyal, and we've had a long history together, and I get to drive that horse. Is nice.
Can you tell us about the best horse you've ever driven?
Well, I'd say the most trying horse is actually Lena Stone. I've drove a lot of nice horses, just prepping them for big races and stuff, get to qualify good ones. And I used to go to Lexington a lot and get to drive off and on some decent horses, but never to keep with the horse and follow him.
Did you drive Lena Stone all through the Sire Stakes Championship and everything?
Yeah, I've drove him almost, I think every race but one, Mark drove him.
And he's made, darn near $500,000 or so, hasn't he?
For sure, yep.
Yeah.
Are you coming to Lexington this year?
A little bit, yep.
Okay. What does the rest of the year look like for Jeff Neisonger? I know the fairs wrap up eventually. You get some finals, and then what?
Just Northfield every night.
Yeah, it seems like it. Wow. That's a long trip for us.
Is that depressing?
I beg him. I call him and beg him to enter fairly often.
If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't.
All right. Jeff, favorite Jug Week memory or place to go eat? What do you look forward to when you get here every year?
I'll just get to visit everyone. That's the main thing. You see a lot of people you don't normally see through the year.
Well, we are also missing a lot of people that should be sitting with us in the fans, so that's got to be a little strange for you.
Yeah, it is. It's awkward.
All right, well.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks
Enter
very
tomorrow
much.
for Wednesday,
Bye,
my
Jeff.
man.
Enter tomorrow for Wednesday. There you go, Jeff.
Gotcha.
Hey, thanks for taking a couple of minutes. Good luck there in the 13th race. Come on through as the Morning Line favorite and end this day on a winning note. Jeff Neisonger, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. 11th race starting gate, the Webkenberg starting gate moving into position. Hopefully you've got your pick 4 tickets in, Dave. I see the guaranteed pool. We've got a purse number. That's new money, right? So we're adding another $20,000+ into the pool, so more than double the guarantee.
Hey, Dave, I have a shout-out.
Go.
Yes.
Before we go to the gate, my friends are still watching from Kentucky. Mark and Jane, Rod and Sherry, Kelly and Craig, Danny and Cheryl, and their families. They've been with us this whole week. Camped out there in Kentucky watching us. So thanks for listening, guys. I hope you're enjoying it.
All right, glad to hear that. Hopefully they're enjoying a couple of nice sandwiches and eventually a good dinner as well. Race 11, Ohio Breeders' Championship fillies, 3-year-olds of the pacing variety. They're going for over $46,000 in this one.
They're at the gate. Gate is rolling. Still time, but you'll have to hurry. That $10,000 guaranteed pick 4 pool starting here. The 11th race, Ohio Breeders' Championship. 3-year-old filly pacer, sponsored by the Stable.ca. Field of 7 sophomore pacing fillies are all in behind the gate in the Ohio Breeders' Championship. And here they come. Break the 6, PJ's Legacy before the start. They're all fan pacing and firing away. There goes Pen, Paper, Page, circling right up to take the lead here. From the inside, Real Rockin' Ravi has come away racing in 2. Along the inside, Artful Dancer there in 3rd. Just ahead of in 4th. That's the 3, BJ's Rocket. In and out of the turn and over to the opening quarter. Away in 5. That's Alligator. Followed up in 6 by Rockin' Go BB. And 7th and trailing the field of the gate breaker, PJ's Legacy. The opening quarter was 28 and 2. Into that turn for the first time and up top of the lead here. That's Pen Paper Page. Pen Paper Page leading it comfortably by a length and a half. Real Rockin' Ravi is there, stalking into first to the flush, coming to the outside. Here comes Artful Dancer, sit underway, snagging that cover, second over the outside, racing in forward. That's BJ's Rocket as they passes for the first time and head on over to the half. Pen Paper Page has had it away throughout, but right alongside Artful Dancer. These two going to slug it out through a half in 57 and 1/5. Watching over the doing leaders from 3rd. That's Real Rockin' Ravi, second over the outside, perfectly placed in fourth. BJ's Rocket, followed in 5 from the inside, Alligator, 3rd over the outside, racing in 6. That's Rockin' Go BB in 7th and trailing the field. PJ's Legacy, heads are pointed towards 3/4 and the drums are beating up top. Pen Paper Page with a lead here, and now to the outside, Artful Dancer could not go on. They went 3/4 and 1:24 and 2/5. Pen Paper Page looks to have fought off the 2. Artful Dancer moving through to be second now. Real Rockin' Ravi, and Real Rockin' Ravi's angled off the pylons with less than a 16th to go. They're on the way home in Delaware, Ohio. Pen Paper Page set down up top, but here's Real Rockin' Ravi on the outside. Pen Paper Page, Real Rockin' Ravi. Those two hit the wire together. Photo for win. Time of the mile 1:52 flat. Can't split them. Input them.
Dave, I said Pen Paper Page held on. What do you think?
I think so, but I think this one was even closer than the last couple we've seen. David Miller, perfect drive there, but I don't know if he quite reached at the end with the long shot.
Well, you see them, they're talking about it, him and Tyler Smith. Usually these guys almost always know when they hold on. We pick it up on the in the stretch for the first time here, and it was a nice, easy lead for Pen Paper Page and Tyler Smith. We spoke to him earlier, and he kind of told us how good this filly was, and no surprise here. He's going to shake off the 3-5 favorite Artful Dancer and Dan Noble, but there's Dave Miller lurking in the pocket, and anytime he gets a trip like that, you better watch out.
Yeah, it looked like here Pen Paper Page was going to run off. She put away the favorite, but Real Rockin' Ravi was kind of gapped out in the pocket, but then caught up and just kept surging in the lane, and it is about as close as you can get here at the wire.
Let's watch the slow-mo replay here. Tyler Smith asking for everything, as is Dave Miller. Here comes the wire. I'm staying inside.
I think you're right. Pen Paper Page really
second view
does not get the credit she deserves. She is now in Ohio. If she won this, she won the Sire Stakes final and the Breeders' Championship, 2 out of 3 of the Triple Crown.
There it is. It is on the board. 3-1 the price with Tyler Smith on Pen Paper Page as they hold off the late surge of Real Rockin' Ravi and Dave Miller. 5-1-4-7 with the 3-5 favorite off the board. I think we're in for some really nice payoffs here.
Yeah, definitely. Pen Paper Page, 4 wins now on the year. Wasn't the favorite in any of them. So she's really, overachieved as far as the bettors are concerned.
Yeah, she sure has. Second win of the day for Tyler Smith, too. He won earlier on the card with, Hoochie Gal.
Yes.
Right? Hoochie Girl.
Yeah.
She was the favorite, though. All right, working his way back to the winner's circle is Mr. Tyler Smith. The 27-year-old with the filly by Pet Rock. Jeff Smith trains for Shirley Levan.
Trackside of the Sugar Valley Farm winner's circle. Well, the unofficial winner of the 11th race, posting her 4th win in 2020. And the 10th win of her career. This time home, a winner in 152 flat. Establishing a new lifetime mark, Ohio Breeders' Championship. She won the Ohio Sire Stakes final. The 5, Pen Paper Page. A 3-year-old bay filly by Pet Rock, out of a Park Lane Page. She by Art Major, owned by Shirley A. Levin of Barrington Hills, Illinois. Trained by Jeff Smith. Nicely handled here this afternoon by Jeff Smith's son, Tyler Smith. Mom and Dad in the winner's circle with the 5, Pen Paper Page. And driver Tyler Smith. This one a homebred, bred by Shirley Levin as well of Illinois. 5-pen paper page, new lifetime mark, 152 flat, and also a stakes record. Stakes record, 152 flat. This race sponsored by the stable.ca. The 5-pen paper page, stakes record, new lifetime mark, 152 flat.
Dave, we've had a lot of stakes records. In fact, we've had some world records. There is a look at that photo, and I'll tell you what, if I had known it was that close, I probably wouldn't have called it. That is 1 inch. That's about as small of a nose victory that you can get. And great to hear Jason identify the family members in the winner's circle. When Tyler got there and hopped out of the sulky seat, got a big hug there for Mom. We love to see that. That's what harness racing is all about, family.
Yep.
Family.
Yep. Fair time is fun time.
Excellent.
Yep. Pen paper page, $860, $520, and $520. Real Rockin' Robbie paid $860 and up to $10 on the show win, and the 4 Alligator $880 to show. 5-1 Perfecta $53.30. 5-1 Try $85.25.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Settlemore, for identifying the family members. I asked Bianconi, and you know how it worked. He came up light.
The 11th race here, the 5-pen paper page returning $860, $520, $520. Second, the 1 Real Rockin' Ravi, $860, $10, and that's okay. The 4 Alligator, $880. $1 Perfecta, 5-1, $53.30. 50-cent Try, 5-1 $85.25. Rundown for the 11th race, the 1 Real Rockin' Ravi, 2. The 2 Artful Dancer, 5. The 3 BJ's Rocket, 6. The 4 Alligator, 3. The 5-pen paper page, the race winner, stakes record, new lifetime mark, 152 flat. The 6 PJ's Legacy, 7. The 7 Rockin' Go BB, 4. Recheck top to bottom. It should read 256 317 4 on the bottom. Upcoming 12th race, the Buckeye Stallion Series, 3rd Division, 2-year-old Colton Gelding Pace at 1 mile. We're down to a field of 7 as we scratch the rail horse, BBT, injured. The 1 BBT has been withdrawn, injured out of the upcoming 12th race. Win, play, show, perfecta, trifecta, superfecta wagering. And let's kick it downstairs to Wendy Ross. I believe she's got winning driver Tyler Smith.
Thank you very much, Jason. Joining me is Tyler Smith. Tyler, I know this filly's really special to you. She makes it 2 in a row today. New lifetime mark. Got your mom and dad in the winner's circle with you, but she's just a talented filly. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. You know, like that we said earlier, she got sick about middle waist of the summer, and you know, thank God she got sick then, because she's coming right back into the mare we thought she was and coming right back into form.
Winning races is always fun, but doing it for Dad makes it extra special, right?
Oh, yeah, you know, my dad's everything to me. That's the reason I got started. He put me to where I am today. You know, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be being able to even think about winning races at Delaware. You know, it's something special.
It was just a few years ago. We were interviewing you with Sam McKee. You were just young starting out, but you've had so much talent. And to have a double on Jug Day, it's no surprise. Has to feel good, right?
Oh, yeah. You know, everybody wants to be here Thursday and Thursday. But, you know, winning races here at Delaware never gets old.
You had your mom and dad in the winner's circle today, but I think there's a little girl missing. You want to give her a little shout out?
Oh, yeah. My little one's back home watching. You know, with everything going on, she couldn't make it. But I guarantee you she was definitely rooting for Papa and Daddy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Winning driver, Tyler Smith.
Thank you very much, Wendy, as we head to break. From the files of the one and only Bob Hollywood Hayden, who was the only driver to ever win his first 2 jugs? We'll find out when we return to the Delaware County Fairgrounds. After this, there's a look at an unfortunately almost empty grandstand.
Yeah.
Bow River has been designing Little Brown Jug jewelry for over a quarter of a century. Go to bowriverjewelry.com to see our limited edition 75th anniversary Little Brown Jug pin and 50th anniversary Jugette pin under the Little Brown Jug tab. Browse our Standardbred collection, Equestrian collection, and our expanded Equestrian Bridal collection. bowriverjewelry.com. Original designs and quality you can trust.
Harris Hoosier Park invites you to an exclusive opportunity to bid on a 2021 breeding of the top 6 stallions in harness racing as part of the Breeders' Crown Charity Challenge. The breedings will be auctioned off at the 2020 Lexington Select Yearling Sale on October 6th at 6:45 p.m. at the Fazig-Tipton Sales Pavilion. All proceeds of the Breeders' Crown Charity Challenge will be donated to charity. Join us in person or bid online at www.lexingtonselected.com.
We welcome you back to the friendly confines of the Delaware County Fairgrounds here in Delaware, Ohio, Central Ohio. Coming up on 5 minutes to post for race number 12. Quick heads up, we're going to speak to our esteemed outrider, Missy Rothfuss. We'll put her under the headset in just a few moments after the post parade. But just to answer that trivia question from the files of Bob Hollywood Hayden, who was the only driver to ever win, I guess, with his first 2 jug drives. I should have written that down better. And the answer would be...
Is it Mike LaChance?
It's Mike LaChance. Very good, Mr. B. B.J. Scoot and goalie Jeff, back-to-back. I didn't write the years down, but I'm sure somebody can look that up.
Got to be 80s.
I think it was. But his very first 2 drives resulted in trips to the winner's circle. He is the only one to do that in the 74-year history of the race as we contest the 75th edition coming up. Hopefully the bettors out there got in on pen, paper, page to kick off that guaranteed pick 4. Again, that pool was well over $20,000. If we get the final number, we will let you know. Some of the jug horses that are out there on the track warming up, we talked about that a little bit earlier. Let's see, that might have been Catch the Fire there. I saw it was number 5 because it didn't look like Jim Campbell in the jog cart. So maybe an early look at the horse that could be the favorite. Jim Campbell actually is on the first turn. There's a 7. There's Tell Them Lou, and that would be Jim Campbell, I believe. So always good to get a little view of the horses, how they negotiate the turns here, how they feel going over the kind of clay surface here. Maintained by Greg Kuhn and company.
Between Twitter and texting, it was 88-89 for a chance.
88-89.
Yeah.
Are you guys still doing shout-outs?
Yeah,
just
sure.
Okay. Hey, Wendy, and this is from Janet Campbell. She's part of the Meadows crew over there. Janet and John Campbell, they're watching the show with Doug and Jan Snyder, Doug Snyder and the Snyders from over there in North Huntington, Pennsylvania. They said they wish we could be at the jug in person, and they said we're doing a great job.
All right.
So thank you so much, and those are just longtime Meadows people, and thank you for tuning in.
All right.
Absolutely.
As they get ready to step on the track, there is Tell Them Lou in front of us, looking very good.
Doug Snyder
in his warm-up.
I came up going to the Meadows when I was a kid when I go visit my grandparents, and they love Doug Snyder.
Doug Snyder is like a staple.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he is.
And Jan Snyder is from Ohio.
Right.
So she's a Buckeye, and I can't remember exactly how they met, but I know that she's Ohio, and Doug's from over there. So.
All right, here's another quick Hayden question. Who won the first jug in under 1 minute 55 seconds? That one shouldn't be too hard. We'll give you that answer a little bit later. In the meantime, on the track they step. The Buckeye Stallion Series for the 2-year-old pacing colts and geldings. This is the 3rd division, 17,500. Scratch the 1.
Stepping to the track for the 12th race, Scratch the 1, BBT injured. Buckeye Stallion Series, 2-year-old colt and gelding pace, 3rd division. Purse is $17,500, offering win, play, show. Perfecta, trifecta, superfecta wagering. Field of 7 now, being led to the post by the 2, Twig. Owned by Julie Farley, Bradford, Ohio. Trained by Mike Paul Hamus with Chris Page. For the 2 is Sandra Burnett of Wilmington, Ohio's Ocean Blue. Trained by Christy Noble with Dan Noble. The 4 is Section Line Twister, owned by Harold Lee Bowder of Delaware, Ohio, and Steve Bowder of Greenville, Ohio. Trained by Steve Bowder with Jeff Nysonger. The 5 is KB Mack, owned by Kenneth Saunders of Ohio, John Saunders of Colorado, trained by Dan Vanier with Ryan Stahl. The 6 is Dive Bar, owned in partnership by Here's to Us Stable and Chris Hawkins, both of the Buckeye State, trained by Ron Steck with Ty Smith. The 7 is Willis of Newark, Ohio, Code of Newark, Ohio, and Ty Loy of Columbia Station, Ohio, and Doug Gregory of Utica, Ohio, and Natural Gem, trained by Ty Loy with Kurt Sugg. And for the outside of the 8, Yankee Keeler, owned by a piece of the Action LLC of Culver City, California, trained by Herman Hegerman, with Hunter Myers in the sulky. That's the field for the 12th race. Win, play, show. Perfecta, trifecta, superfecta wagering. Buckeye Stallion Series. 2-year-old colt and gelding pace. 3rd division. Scratch the 1, BBT injured. Good luck, everyone.
Thank you very much, Jason. One of my favorite parts of the week, even though I usually have to talk her into do it, is getting to talk to our outrider here at the Delaware County Fairgrounds. It's Missy Rothfuss. Missy, how is your day going so far?
Well, it was pretty exciting not too long ago.
I know. Apparently, Marrakesh Express gave you and Jasmine a couple of headaches there, but as usual, the team of you made the difference.
Oh, God. All the credit goes to Jazz. She is riding. I just picked up that horse. We got him at a sale. My husband, Jim Rothfuss, actually picked him up. I'm not a paint person, and he watched him jump up where they load the cattle, and he's like, you need to buy that horse. I'm like,
More money. You had to write another check.
Right. So we buy him. He ended up having a bad abscess. They must have gave him some ACE in the muscle. He got gas gangrene. We had to lance it open. He literally just started outriding. Like, I took him a couple races last week at the Meadows just to make sure. He came to do the post parade while Jazz rode Sunday between her drives. She's like, I'll use him.
Wow. Well, he looks like an old pro because we're showing the video right now of her latching onto the lines and desperately holding on for dear life.
It was. I'll tell you what, that was a hard catch because they were flying. Oh. And then that horse, she couldn't get my horse, Tico. She couldn't get him pulled up. And she's like, Missy, grab me. So I got him pulled, and he settled right down. But for a horse to go in that has very little experience, he's a unicorn.
Well, now you know you've got some talent to work with, huh?
Yeah, I do, and I owe a lot to Jazz. She's really helped me out with him this week. I mean, she's a heck of a rider. She comes to the Meadows and fills in when I need her. I mean, she's just so awesome.
That is great because we love the team effort that you guys have always had. Did you have a parade marshal here yesterday or the day before?
Yeah, Savannah's out there on my horse, Dude, who me and him on Tuesday, we had a broken bit.
Oh.
And he nailed the broken bit. I mean, it's been a busy week, and I don't like it. I'm going to go back to the Meadows because nothing happens there.
It's a little quiet?
Yeah.
All right, listen, I want to offer you congratulations on the part of all of us United States harness riders. Earlier this year, you were the recipient of the Unsung Hero Award. I think the Keystone chapter nominated you for that. Where were you when you found out you were getting a nice big award?
I think it was in the barn. I don't know. It was right when we got shut down. So everything was kind of jumbled because you're trying to figure out what to do with the horses, what we're going to do, and everything. It was just a wreck. But I was extremely honored and happy.
So it made you feel good?
Yeah, it made me feel really good. I mean, it's quite an honor. I mean, it's my job.
All right, okay. Well, it is your job, but still, you are one of the best at it, and you deserve an award like this, so we just wanted to say congrats.
Oh, thank you so much.
I have a list. I think it was Michael Carter interviewed you, and they had a nice article on U.S. Trotting or in Hoofbeats recently. So here's the list of, I think, horses and or dogs. You explain the rundown here and get me straight. I've got Salem. I've got Dude.
Yep.
I've got T.
Yep.
I've got Sam.
Yep.
I've got Pally, and I've got Wingnut.
Yep.
And maybe even Oz.
Oz, he is working for, I can't think of it. He went to work with a kid, Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Okay.
He's working with kids with cancer. Sam, I sold. He wasn't cut for it. T, the girl that's parade marshaling, I sold him to her. She wanted a step-up barrel horse. He actually rode at the Meadows this week, so we still have the privilege of using him. Tico's one of my newest ones. He's on the track. I have Bugs now.
Bugs?
Bugs is my little quarter horse. He worked at the Meadows this week, too. And Wingnut is my little trotter that I started training to be an outriding horse. He was doing really good. He ponies. He's so smart. But unfortunately, he races on Friday, and our qualifiers are on Thursday. So he's a little hot. I don't want to mess him up because he has been racing really good for us doing it this way. So I just teach him the pony, teach him all the basics, and we race them.
Generally, when you get a new horse, how long does it take them to transition into the job that you do?
Well, Tico's a unicorn. The rest of them, my Bugs horse, it took me about a month and a half, 2 months to get him to do qualifiers. Most, it takes about 3 months. They don't usually become finished until about 3 years with the experience because you don't have a lot of loose horses, and when you do, you don't know what they're going to do. They're not like that Paint horse. That Paint's a unicorn. Like, I'm still in shock how good he is.
Why did we dress up in the yellow today, and where did you find that mask?
The mask I got on eBay. It's a mask I always wear. And yellow for the jug, brown and gold, so...
Well, you guys are doing an excellent job. It seems like we get at least one loose horse a week during Jug Week.
Yeah, I know. I don't like it. I'm grateful. I have a great team of horses. Jazz. I always have great girls riding with me. I had Courtney last year. It was great to ride under Cindy. So I'm very lucky that way. And I'm an outrider that don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope you have a nice, safe, relaxing rest of the afternoon out there in the sunshine. Put some sunscreen on, put a hat on, and we'll see you back out there in a few minutes.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. Missy Rothfuss, the outrider, here at the Delaware County Fairgrounds, and they've been in quite some action so far this week. Race 12 up next here, a second leg of that guaranteed pick 4. It's a Buckeye Stallion Series division, 2-year-old pacing colts and geldings. Field of 7 after the scratch of the 1 BBT.
To the Buckeye Stallion Series, 2-year-old colt and gelding pace. Down to a field of 7 with a scratch of the 1 BBT injured. So 7 of them moving up and moving in. Behind the Webkenberg starting gate on the upper turn. The gate swing to the top of the stretch here in Delaware, Ohio, and here they come. Rough gated behind the gate, the 2 Twig. They're all fan pacing and firing out of there. There goes Ocean Blue. Ocean Blue crossing right over, but driving up on the outside. Dive Bar. Dive Bar is looking to get there to the front and will angle to the pylons too, as Ocean Blue and Danny Noble one of the point here. Dive Bar yields for the garden spot, racing in 2 along the inside. Twig racing 3rd. Gap at 2 racing 4th. That's Section Line Twister, followed in 5th by KB Max, 6th there. That's Natural Gem in 7th and trailing the field. Yankee Keeler. The opening quarter was 28 2/5, and into that turn for the first time, and up top of the lead here, Ocean Blue. Ocean Blue and Danny Noble dictating the fractions by a length in 3 parts. To the inside, Dive Bar is there in 2. Twig is under a snug hold, racing in 3rd. Section Line Twister and Niceonger angle to the outside in 4th, and flushing out Twig. First over on the outside. Along the inside, racing in 5. KB Max, 6th there. That's Natural Gem. And 7th and trailing, Yankee Keeler. Rolling into the payoff half. Halfway home, 57 2/5. Ocean Blue's been up top through a second quarter there in 29 seconds flat, leading the way by a tight length. Twig to the outside, racing in 2 along the inside. Dive Bar watches over these dueling leaders from 3rd. Second over on the outside, perfectly placed in 4th. That's Section Line Twister. 5th and buried there, KB Mac. 3rd over the outside in 6th, Natural Gem. And 7th and trailing the field, Yankee Keeler. They went by 3 quarters in 126 flat. They'll pace the final turn and head for home. Twig from the outside, but battling back on the inside. Ocean Blue is coming back to him and looking for racing room. That's Dive Bar outside in 4th. Section Line Twister as they turn for home with less than a 16th to go. And driving through the stretch here in Delaware, Ohio, Twig to the outside. Looks to have got the better of Ocean Blue here as they come to the wire. Twig is all wrapped up. Finishing second's going to be the 6 Dive Bar, 3rd to the 5 KB Mac, 4th there to round out the superfecta. The 3 Ocean Blue, time of the mile 1:54 and 1/5 Twig.
Well, Dave, I'll tell you what, the big 1-9 favorite Twig does get the job done, but there were a couple of anxious moments there at the start. It didn't look like he was fully ready to go.
Yeah, and then he had to kind of go a big mile on the outside, but he certainly pushed through at the end. Ocean Blue cutting the mile. That's Ocean Rock's full brother.
And he raced great.
And he was game for quite some time. But Twig, once he put his mind to it here in the final turn, was just too much. Just a good-looking horse. Only his 7th lifetime start, now 6 wins for trainer Mike Polhamus.
Now, for a second there, it looked like Twig was going to pace around Ocean Blue on the final turn, but he didn't quite get there. He had to wait for the stretch, but Chris Page's patience, I guess, paid off in the end.
Yep.
2, 6, 5, and 3 under the wire. Twig off at odds of 1-9. Nice prices underneath, but you'll always see that with a 1-9 shot on top. 2, 6, 5, 3. Dive Bar, KB Mac for Ryan Stahl, and Ocean Blue holds on to 4th after a pretty gutsy and game effort on the lead. While we have a second here before Chris gets back to the winner's circle, we're joined by the master of the Sugar Valley Farms again, Joe McLeod. We got to chat with him briefly yesterday. Joe, we're going to talk a little bit about the Jug Select sale that you guys had a couple of Fridays ago, or last Friday as well. And then I want to ask you about your radio interview yesterday. You were there with a special guest, right? Who was that? Who was on the radio with you? Didn't you do a radio interview?
Yes, my son. That was pretty cool. It was his first interview ever. He was a little nervous. And
so how did he do?
He did good. I'm very proud of him. He's a very good kid.
All right. In the meantime, we'll get more into that later. Twig and Chris Page back to the winner's circle.
Sugar Valley Farm winner circle, the 2 Twig, taking the Buckeye Stallion Series. 2-year-old colt in gelding pace, third division, timed at 154 and 1/5. The 2 Twig, bred by Julie Farley of Ohio, also owns this homebred. 2-year-old bay gelding by Mr. Apples out of a Western Mandy, she by Western Spirit, trained by Mike Paul Haymes. Having a big week here in Delaware. Nicely handled here this afternoon by winning driver Chris Page. The 2 Twig, home a winner 154. 1/5 to take the Buckeye Stallion Series, third division, 2-year-old colt in gelding pace. Twig, Chris Page.
There is Twig getting his picture taken, the thing you want to do when you own horses. And Joe McLeod again is with us before we give out the prices. Joe, you've owned horses. In fact, Little Brown Jug Week last year was the springboard for a very special one for you that you eventually sold after that. Refresh our memory.
That was 2 years ago.
Oh, it was 2 years ago?
Yeah, I'm Pink too.
I'm Pink too?
It was pretty incredible time. You know, you can get involved in this sport for a minimal amount of money, and I got lucky to purchase her as a yearling, and she was a sister of the Hambletonian winner, and I bought her for $27,000 and said to my uncle, he goes, "You bought a yearling trotting filly? We have some in the field." I said, "Well, it's a sister to the Hambletonian winner. Even if she doesn't make it, she's going to be great for our broodmare band." Well, she happened to make it and then set the world record in Lexington, and I actually had her in the mix sale the next day, and she was a sale topper, so
I remember
we let her go, but it made it
timing is everything.
I remember you jumping up and down in the winner's circle, hugging your driver.
Always
all right, let's pay everybody off here. Twig, 210, 210, 210. Can't get any lower than that. Dive Bar, 6 even and 440. KB Mac number 5 was third, 360. Your Dollar Perfecta, $12.10. 50-cent try, 265, 26.75. And the Super, $85.50. The official order of finish, race 12. Jason has it for us.
The 2 Twig returns 210, 210, 210. Second, the 6 Dive Bars, $6, 440. Third of the 5 KB Mac, 360. Dollar Perfecta, 26, 12, 10. 50-cent try, 265. 26.75. 50-cent Super, 2653, 85.50. Rundown for the 12th race. The 1 BBT scratch injured. The 2 Twig, the race winner, timed at 154 and 1/5. The 2 Ocean Blue 4, the 3 Section Line Twister 6, the 5 KB Mac 3, the 6 Dive Bar 2, the 7 Natural Gem 5, the 8 Yankee Keeler 7. Recheck, scratch injured, 1463257 on the bottom. Time of the mile 154 and 1/5. The upcoming 13th race, Win Place Show, or Win Place only, Perfecta, Trifecta, Superfecta wagering, no show wagering in the upcoming 13th race, Ohio Breeders' Championship, 3-year-old colt in gelding pace, the second division.
There you have it, folks. Just a wisp of a breeze here at the fairgrounds on this Thursday afternoon jug. We need another timeout. When we come back, more with Joe McLeod of the Sugar Valley Farms. We'll talk jug sale, and then we'll talk the big sales, Lexington and Harrisburg, after this.
Sugar Valley Farm in Delaware, Ohio is proud to be a part of the sport's rejuvenation in the Buckeye State. Dedicated to providing the best stallions available at any price point. Lather Up, who equaled the all-time record of 146, joins world champion Down by the Seaside. 2009 Pacer of the Year, Well Said. Mr. Wiggles, sire of 2015 Horse of the Year, Wiggle It Jiggle It. And $2 million winning trotter, Creatine. For more, log on to SugarValleyFarmStallions.com.
We're back. A look at what everybody is ready to present today. A look at the Little Brown Jug. More with Joe McLeod, again, the master of the Sugar Valley Farms, just a stone's throw from the fairgrounds here. Joe, you just told us a quick story off camera. It's an absolute delight. Repeat it for everyone else to hear, please.
This is one of the greatest things in harness racing, with everybody getting along with each other and being able to be face-to-face with everybody. But the leading trainer and wins, or the leading driver and wins ever in the history of our sport, Dave Pallone, wins today with trotter and world record time. I gave him a ride back to the paddock, and he said, "Hey, Joe, I saw your son and he was helping you do the pylons on Facebook the other day." He goes, "That's awesome." He goes, "Here, give the kid the whip." and threw me the whip. So I'm sure Will will be excited.
And he's a 14-year-old, so he'll treasure that thing probably for a very, very long time.
Or he'll whip me with it when I tell him to mow the lawn.
He might. Hopefully not, because then you'll put him right in his place. All right, listen, I guess it was last Friday, big sale in the state of Ohio. They called it the Jug Select Sale. Nobody knew what to expect. Nobody knew what was going to happen. You tell us how it turned out.
It turned out phenomenal. We did $6.7 million. It was the highest grossing sale in the history of the Ohio Select Jug Sale. We had 5 new stallions come into the state with offering their first yearlings this year, and it was down by the seaside that stands at my farm through Diamond Creek, and we were totally excited with the results that he brought. We sold 46 and averaged just a little over $40,000, and so that was pretty awesome. And then there was Fear the Dragon, What the Hill, Creatine, and Long Tom with their first crops that came in, and then Lost for Words had one in the sale that was involved in the epic battle with Wiggle It Jiggle It here in the final.
Lots of great memories.
It's a phenomenal time going on in Ohio. We have a lot of great races, and we have a lot of good opportunities for people throughout having 68 county fairs participate in racing as well.
And you still got a few saved up for Lexington, the selected sale there?
Yeah, Sugar Valley Farm, we're selling them this year through Diamond Creek Farm as agent. They do a phenomenal job, and Adam and I work together quite well. And so we have 3 of our own down there, and then there's 100, right at about 100 Ohio breds selling down there as well on the last day. And there's 27 down by the seaside, so we're pretty excited about what we have to offer in Lexington as well.
Do you think the participation and the showing up of people in Lexington will be as good, if not better?
I think as the restrictions start to go by the wayside, I think there's going to be a lot of people there. And, I'm hoping that some of the Canadians can get there because they're an integral part of our racing here in North America. And there's a lot of industry-leading horses that will be sold down there. And hopefully they can come down and enjoy 2 weeks of great racing and then go back into their quarantine, however that goes. But I'm hoping it'll be well attended. And we here in Ohio at our Select Jug Sale, we followed all the protocols. 99% of the people did a great job with it, and it was social distance, and I think we did a very good job at the sale.
Well, obviously the results speak for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about the news that was released just a couple of hours ago about Tall Dark Stranger? Have you heard about that yet?
I heard about that yesterday, actually.
Okay, well, and, you got the inside track. We have to wait for the official release.
I think it's a great opportunity for him. Hanover has a lot of the best brood mares there are in the industry, so any horse that gets to go to Hanover has a wonderful opportunity. But a horse like Tall Dark Stranger, he was one of my pipe dream horses that I would love to have at our farm. Down by the seaside was one of them, and now, horses like Tall Dark Stranger, they could stand in Timbuktu and get a full book at whatever price they want because everybody wants a piece of them. But Ohio's coming up on the heels of Pennsylvania, where we're going to be looked upon as one of the top states in racing here in the United States and in North America, and we're not too far behind, so hopefully we'll start being able to bring more in. But like I stated earlier, we had What the Hill, Fear the Dragon, and down by the seaside were the 3 top horses from their 3-year-old campaign that all came to the state of Ohio, and it's proven by the way they're selling, and we get to see them race. But Well Said's came into the state. He's the #1 sire this year, and he's at my farm as well, my farm with my Uncle Billy. And he's the leading sire in his first crop eligible here in Ohio this year for 2-year-olds, and it's a great place.
Okay, very quickly before they step out onto the track here for race 13, if somebody in Ohio or anywhere else is looking to get involved in this program, how do they contact you and your farm, and how do they get involved?
SugarValleyFarmStallions.com. Anybody can get involved in many different ways. I can always listen to them and tell them where to go. There's tremendous opportunities through various avenues where you can buy 1% to 10% to a whole horse, and I'm more than happy to help guide people through it.
All right, there's the bugle. Stick around, Joe. We're going to have Ron Burke on the headset after this post-parade for race 13. No show wagering in this Ohio Breeders' Championship for the Glamour Boys, the 3-year-old pacing colts.
Maybe the first time Ronnie will have to
Sugar Valley Farm, post-parade for the 13th. Ohio Breeders' Championship 3-year-old colt and gelding pace, $48,121. Number 1, Ocean Rock. The driver, Dan Noble. Number 2, Mr. Wiggle It with Matt Kukele. Number 3, Wrecking Crew make the driver Dexter Dunn. Number 4, Stanford Court, Ronnie Wren Jr. drives. Number 5, Opportune Hanover with Chris Page. Number 6, Gray Dragon, the driver Brett Miller. And number 7, Johnny Rocket, Tyler Smith in the sulky. Win place wagering perfected, trifecta superfecta. No show wagering. No show wagering in the 13th. Dexter Dunn drives the 3 Wrecking Crew. Don't be shut out. Wager now.
Thank you very much, Roger. Getting FaceTime with the next guy on the headset is priceless, as they would like to say. We welcome Ron Burke to the broadcast. Been a busy day for you and your brother Mickey, warming up horses, getting ready to go, Ron. Let's talk about Oliver Hanover and his performance today. He's really come around again as a 3-year-old.
Yeah, we had health issues starting to be in the year, and it was a lot. It was a lot to get him back, and he wants to do it. He'll overcome. So I think he'll finish the year off strong. There's 1 or 2 really great 3-year-olds, and then there's another group that are right behind him. So some of us have to step up to get to the other group, and hopefully he will.
To begin the card today, it was a very impressive performance by Heart of Chewbacca. He didn't get a track record today like he did at Northfield, but when you're 1-5, you really don't need a track record, do you?
No, he could have gone anywhere he needed to do today. He actually, the night of the championship, he just didn't seem right. We had to put him on Lasix that week. Today, when I warmed him up, I said, Danny, this is the colt. We know who he is. You can probably do what you want. And, most colts don't get home 26-2 wrapped up like that. It kind of like it was one of the little goosebump moments. That's a real top horse, I think.
I would imagine that's music to a driver's ears when you tell them that, handing them the lines.
Yeah, no, Danny's, he's pretty good. Like, it's his colt. He gave it to me out of nowhere and, said, this is a real top colt. He's making breaks, see if he can figure out. And, from day one, I was like, Danny, you're right. This is the real deal.
All right, you got a pair in this race, the 13th, the Ohio Breeders' Championship, trying to upend the 1-5 Ocean Rock. You've got Mr. Wiggle It for Kaylee. You've got Opportune Hanover for Chris Page, coming back on a little short rest.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter if we had 2 months to prepare for this. We ain't beat them. We're going for get a check. All right. Like I tell my guys, you got to scramble for them nickels.
Yep.
Oh,
they add up.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Ronnie, just real quickly, too, we saw your filly win the Buckette today. That'd be a good moment to start the afternoon off.
Well, you know me. I'm real sharp. I can't spell bucket, F it, whatever it is.
It rhymes with something else you said when you said to go ahead and enter him.
Yeah, so I was like, then the more I start looking at the race, I was like, nah, we're going to win this thing. And I told Maddie, you at least make sure one of them doesn't get biased one. And then once we were on the lead, Jason came to come back. I'm like, park him. It's a 2-horse race here. Yeah, but Maddie let him go. He probably did the right thing, but it would have been more fun for us and the fans if they'd have just wheeled it the whole mile.
Ronnie, Joe McLeod here, and I was able to take you back after that race. And an interesting fact, Ronnie's won like 4.7 million races lifetime. And today, for an interesting fact, in Delaware, Ohio, it was his first bucket win.
That thing, the trophy's nice, too. Usually I'm pretty good on, giving the trophies up to all the other owners, but that one, I'm keeping that.
Yeah, what will you put in the bucket is the thing we're really wondering.
That's the thing is I'm pretty much, after COVID, borderline alcoholic, so.
Well, I guess I don't have to ask you how you handled the shutdown. You just answered it.
Pretty much from noon on, it was like we'll be obliterated till we start the next morning.
Wine time.
Hey, listen, all of us in Ohio and all of us back in New Jersey and harness fans want to congratulate you for that massive milestone. Over 11,000 wins on Labor Day. How did that feel?
It's really that special. The next number is, 250. I'm not too far from 250 million. That's $250 million. That's pretty cool. And then, I hope to stay healthy and keep rushing. John's only 50 million ahead of that. So, I told Dave Miller we bet a steak dinner like 2 years ago who would get to John first. I don't know if David can't do math, but it's like, David, I do 20 a year, you do 10 a year. I'm going by you, buddy.
Is there a chance he'll ever pay off on that?
Oh, yeah, David's good. Plus, he's scared of me.
Which steakhouse?
Yeah, believe me, it ain't going to be a cheap one. I hope he's not thinking Outback.
Not the Golden Corral.
All right, it's a special week for us here at the Delaware County Fairgrounds, the 75th anniversary of the Little Brown Jug, a race that you have won before. It's special to you. Let me ask you about your entrance today, because they're both very, very different. In the 5th race, you've got the one See You at the Beach. Recently moved into your barn here, and when we talked to Mickey Jr. yesterday, he said we've made some radical equipment changes. Can you explain?
Well, we're going to go with no shoes up front today. We're going to take the jaw rope off. We're going to go to a blinker hood and a mini bit. So we're going aggressive and as light as we can go.
Now, for the fans who don't necessarily know what those are, can it be any more radical than that?
No, pretty much the only thing I could have done was pulled his hobbles off, And, I trained him pretty hard and buzzed him through the turn, then warmed him up. I really sent him through. And he felt totally safe, and that's my only question. If I can get through that first turn and still be on the lead or, fighting for the lead, I'll take my chances.
All right,
Ronnie, quick question. Can you explain real fast why you pull the shoes on horses over the magic carpet here?
With here, it's the perfect place. I took them off on Sans Defoe. First of all, they grip the track better. For him, too, he hits a knee. So, obviously, when he goes to the knee without a shoe on, it's going to be less of a concussion to that knee than with a shoe on. So, I think it'll help him both that way. One, he'll get his foot, you get the whole foot down on the ground to pull, to get traction versus just the rim of a shoe. And then the second part is when he hits his knee, he's not going to hit it as bad.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Cattle Wash in the second elimination. When you found out you landed post 7, did you punch the wall?
No, I called David up. I said, "You want good news or bad news?" And he's like, "I don't know."
Me instead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I was a loony, maybe I'd had to rail. But yeah. So I got it. I took the 7. I was like, "David," and he's like, "Oh, we'll be good. We're good from there." And I'm like thinking, I don't know what you're thinking, but whatever. I really thought I brought that horse ready here to win. Like, I thought he was sharp. He warmed up unbelievable. Can't be sharper. So now David's going to have to come up with his part and try to figure this out, at least to, be second or third where we can move in a little bit, for the thing. But it's going to be hard, but there's a lot of good. I think he caught the tougher division. And he got the worst post.
All right, last question, and we'll let you go. A couple of years ago, you trained a filly for our man, Mr. McLeod here. I'm Pink, too. That's got to bring back some pleasant memories. Who was the happiest guy in Ohio that day?
Yeah, no, that was cool. Winning here and then going to Lexington and winning 49 there, it was cool. That was really neat. That was special. Like, things like that you remember.
All right, Ron, thanks so much. Ronnie. Yep, good luck a little bit later on, and we'll catch you down the road.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Ronnie Burke, ladies and gentlemen, the leading trainer in the sport. Hey, here's the marquee matchup we've been waiting for. Ocean Rock has the rail. It's Dan Noble, Christy Noble, 1-5. The gate is open. We send it up to Roger.
Horses approaching the starting gate. Three-year-old Colton Gelding Pacers in behind the Mike Wattenberg starting gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. And pacing, Ocean Rock goes for the lead. Stanford Court up on the outside second, getting away third. Mr. Wiggle It as they race into the turn. Wrecking Crew fourth, racing fifth. That's Opportune Hanover. Sixth is Gray Dragon, and Johnny Rocket trails the field. Backing off to settle in third, Stanford Court. Down the backside of the first quarter mark, it's Ocean Rock by a length and 3/4. Opening quarter, 26-4. Into the turn they go. Racing second at the 3/8 mark. Around that turn is Mr. Wiggle It. Racing third. Going to the first to 8 as Ocean Rock leads the way. Mr. Wiggle It is here second. Stanford Court third. They open up about 6 lengths on the rest of the field. They come to the halfway point. 54-3. Into the turn they go. 27-4. Second panel. It's Ocean Rock on top of the field by 3.5. Racing to the backside, Mr. Wiggle It is there second. Stanford Court pacing third. Opportune Hanover is fourth. Fifth on the outside, Gray Dragon. Dan Noble and Ocean Rock trying to show that they might be the best today. Opens up to the 3/4. 1:21-4 as they race around the final turn. Ocean Rock now by 7. Stanford Court on the outside second. Gray Dragon coming on third. Less than an 8 to go in Ohio. Ocean Rock at his best. Comes home by 5.5. Ocean Rock, Dan Noble, look at the timer! 1:49, 2:50.
Well, you heard it there in Roger's voice. An exciting moment here at the Delaware County Fairgrounds as Ocean Rock. I don't know if it's a world record. He'll tell us about that, but it certainly is a stakes record for the Ohio Breeders' Championship that was established a couple of years ago by Bounding Dragon. And who drove that one? Dan Noble, too. Yes. But it was 1:51, so almost 2 full seconds did they beat it here.
That was his Falcon Sealster moment right there.
So impressive. But, I'm just sad that we're not watching him in the jug today.
Well, that was like Falcon Sealster on the undercard, wasn't in the jug, and that was Roger broke out the original look at the timer for that one. And man, Ocean Rock, what a horse! In 2 years, the horses like this will be able to supplement. So just got to be patient. Yep.
Let's watch. Is Dan even asking? No, he's not even asking for any speed. I thought for a second there maybe he wanted to put a super mark on him, but no. He did the right thing. Good battle for second. Stanford Court is going to hold off Gray Dragon for third. 1, 4, 6, and 7 under the wire here. 1:49 and 2. Ocean Rock's lifetime best, taking it Scioto this year, 1:48 and 4. And that wasn't too long ago. That was in the Ohio Sire Stakes leg back on July 18th. Sure, that might have been a track record.
Yeah, he's a super serious horse. Almost won the Milstein from the 8-hole, cut the fractions. Odds on Osiris had a perfect trip to beat him, and unfortunately, really not staked outside Ohio much. I don't believe. I'm sure Wendy will probably ask, but this is the one he wanted to be in today, and I don't mean the Breeders' Championship. I mean the jug.
Well, homebred here for Sandra Burnett of Wilmington, Ohio. She owns the 3-year-old gelding by Rockin' Amadeus. Dan and Christy Noble train, and back to the winner's circle. Here comes Dan with his prized pupil.
Number 1, Ocean Rock. Sandra Burnett of Wilmington, Ohio. Christy Noble, the winning trainer. Dan Noble in the sulky. Second this afternoon, 5th for the week. 3-year-old gelding by Rockin' Amadeus out of Ocean Pearl. 1:49, 2/5. A stakes record for the Ohio Breeders' Championship 3-year-old colt and gelding trot, and equals the track record for 3-year-old geldings of 1:49 and 2. Stakes record equaling the track record, 3-year-old geldings, 1:49 and 2. Ocean Rock and Dan Noble. And look who's in the winner's circle. Christy with Nash. Nash with the proud parents, Dan and Christy Ray.
There you see Ocean Rock, and what a sensational season it certainly has been for him. All right, price is in. Ocean Rock, number 1, 220, 210. 4, Stanford Court, 220. Very short exotics, too. The Dollar Perfecta, $1.40. 50-cent try, $146.65. And the 50-cent super, $146.76. $1.90. Roger has the rundown.
Results are official. Number 1, Ocean Rock, the winner. Number 2, Mr. Wiglet, 6. Number 3, Wrecking Crew, 7. Number 4, Stanford Court, 2. Number 5, Opportune Hanover, 5. Number 6, Gray Dragon, 3. And number 7, Johnny Rocket, 4. Top down, 167, 253. 4 on the bottom, the mile. Equaling the track record, stakes record, 1:49, 2/5. Let's go to the winner's circle. Wendy Ross.
Thank you very much, Roger. Danny Noble and I are just standing down here, and I said, Danny, that was fun. Right, Danny?
It was a lot of fun.
A colt like this certainly is fun. Once-in-a-lifetime type of colt, and it's special. Number 1 today, you get your son, Nash, in the winner's circle. It was his first win photo. How special was that?
It's very special on a day like today, and especially with this colt here.
How about your dad's mare, Ocean Pearl? Is this the first foal out of Ocean Pearl?
Yeah, this is the first foal, and he almost didn't make it when he was born. They ended up putting him back in the straps, and then he wasn't brain dead.
So, well, he certainly made it, and he gets his sixth win on the year for you here. I'm sure your dad Chip's smiling down on you today and said she was a great mare, and you got yourself a great colt here today. So congratulations, Danny, once again. And, hey, Nash is super cute. I finally got to meet him. It was so exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Winning driver, Danny Noble.
All right, thank you very much, Wendy. As we head to break here, a message from Barbara Wilfong. Here's a photo of another famous historical harness horse building and commemorative plaque, the barn where Dan Patch was born in Oxford, Indiana. Lynn and I visited the small town for their Dan Patch parade a couple of weeks ago, and it was pretty sweet. They have a festival for it every year. Thanks so much, Barbara. There's our log cabin. We're proud of it here in Delaware, Ohio. 9 minutes to post for race 14. Let's take another timeout. Just one race away from the first Little Brown Jug elimination, so stick around.
Horse racing is a great sport, and now you can have a horse in the race. Own a little and love it a lot. Thestable.ca is an award-winning horse ownership experience. Purchase as little as 1% of a racehorse and pay a set monthly fee. No surprises, modest investment, low risk, and completely accessible and transparent operations. Thestable.ca offers a unique, engaging racehorse ownership experience and features great customer service and consistent updates about your horse. Our innovative video production team tracks your horse's training progress, and clients are encouraged to visit the horses at any time. Thestable.ca is right for harness racing, and if you want to have a horse in the race, it's right for you too. For more information about The Stable, email Anthony at thestable.ca or call 519-400-4263.
For your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1974, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at BigDWeb.com. Most orders shipped that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Bow River has been designing Little Brown Jug jewelry for over a quarter of a century. Go to BowRiverJewelry.com to see our limited edition 75th anniversary Little Brown Jug pin and 50th anniversary Jugette pin under the Little Brown Jug tab. Browse our Standardbred collection, Equestrian collection, and our expanded Equestrian Bridal collection. BowRiverJewelry.com. Original designs and quality you can trust.
Harris Hoosier Park invites you to an exclusive opportunity to bid on a 2021 breeding of the top 6 stallions in harness racing as part of the Breeders' Crown Charity Challenge. The breedings will be auctioned off at the 2020 Lexington Select Yearling Sale on October 6th at 6:45 p.m. at the Fazig-Tipton Sales Pavilion. All proceeds of the Breeders' Crown Charity Challenge will be donated to charity. Join us in person or bid online at www.lexingtonselected.com.
And please, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to support the Breeders' Crown Charity Challenge. You can get more information at LexingtonSelected.com. Quick couple of hellos. Chase Lord, watching the broadcast, says, nice job. Thank you very much, Chase. He wants to come next year. And the Hoofmaster, Jared Kelly, he's watching from Gateway Farms. He's got the TV on while he's catching a nice quarter crack. He even sent me some pictures. That's why they call him the Hoofmaster.
Yes.
To answer the trivia question from before, who won the first jug in under 155? Would you like to answer that, Barry Vickroy?
No, I'm not going to take a shot at that.
It's pretty easy. You're going to be embarrassed when I spit the name out.
A guy, Perry Smith, texted me the answer.
Oh, yeah. Well, of course. He's got to have that one right.
Niatros, right?
Niatros.
Yep.
Clint Galbraith, 1980. They zipped around the fairgrounds in 154 and 4. Hopefully we can sneak a few more of those Hollywood Hayden nuggets. Barry Vickroy from Scioto Downs and all the other tracks here in Ohio joins us. Barry, you got to call a lot of Ocean Rocks races this summer here. Another dazzler.
Wow.
Okay.
I wanted to get a message to Danny to see if he could get the plugs out in the winner's circle since they were still in when he went in there, but just gave him a couple of those Dan Nubble growls in the stretch, and
you heard it because in your perch over there with the OHHA broadcast, you can hear what the drivers are saying or growling or yelling.
Well, I actually stepped down. I wanted to be a little closer, so I was at the end of the grandstand down on trackside as they came through the stretch there. You could hear Danny give him a couple growls just to keep him going because he did that all alone.
And, Danny wanted to send a message a little bit like, I wish I could be in the jug, basically. And
how did that make you feel?
It's the third horse this week. We're going to have a special jug with Tall Dark Stranger, Ocean Rock, and Party Girl Hill.
And we got to make it non-wagering. How about that?
Exactly.
Almost like a qualifier. But, it's such a joy and a privilege to watch horses like that perform. And, again, they have their hands on a really good one. We've got to offer all of our congratulations to the Nobles, as well as owner-breeder Sandra Burnett. Bugle, race 14, Buckeye Stallion Series Pacers, 2-year-old Colts and Geldings, a field of 8.
Horses are on the track. Sugar Valley Farms, parade to the post. Buckeye Stallion Series, 2-year-old Colt and Gelding Pacers, $17,500. Savannah Bernard leading the post parade. Number 1, Rockin' Republic with Ronnie Gillespie. Number 2 is Marrakesh Express. The driver, Chris Page. Number 3, Rose Run Walker with Mike Wilder. Number 4, Sir Charles of Skye. The driver, Brett Miller. Number 5, Yankee Sparkle with Tyler Smith. Number 6, Gray Fanton, Josh Slater. Number 7 is Wiggle It Jim with David Miller. And number 8, Weekend Pass, Dan Noble in the sulky. Win, play, show, perfecta, trifecta, superfecta, wager on the 14th. Don't be shut out. Wager now.
Right, counting down to the 14th race, Buckeye Stallion Series. It's the 4th division for 2-year-old Colt and Gelding Pacers, field of 8. I'm joined now by Wendy Ross and Barry Vickroy, making his debut on the Jug Day card.
Yeah.
Barry, it's good to be with you.
Oh, it's just, I'll tell you, we were just talking as the post parade was going, which we probably should have been paying attention to the post parade, but when Ocean Rock was going there's probably 30, 40 owners here in the grandstand. I think that they came to see Ocean Rock today. That the noise and the round of applause, that was amazing for the number of people that are here.
I think it was just impressive in general. They were just happy to watch a good horse race. Like I know that. I certainly was.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Barry, Sandra Burnett, who had the dam Ocean Pearl, Chip Noble trained for her for years, right?
Yeah, I think that Ocean Pearl was like Chip's last best horse.
Yes.
She was an open mare at Scioto Downs. She was gray, like Ocean Blue.
Right.
But I think that he had so many, but I think that Ocean Pearl was his last best horse.
I think that's the way Dan always tells the story too, because I remember before I interviewed him in the winner's circle, I said, "This is the mare, right?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, I thought so."
Because when I believe that when he got really ill, that Ocean Pearl then moved over to the Dan Ader stable to finish her career before going to the breeding shed. But
gotcha.
She definitely campaigned for. That's what I've been saying. That's why I was such a fan of Ocean Rock, because of the story behind it. Because we've talked a number of times that this harness racing is just full of family stories and things like that. So it's
everybody loved Chip Noble.
I'll tell you what, he's one of the funniest people that I've ever been around. But you had to be quiet and sit and listen.
Very soft spoken. Yep.
But he had some zingers. Yes, he did.
Well, what do we got here? Do we got some zingers to give away here, Barry?
Well, we got a wide open race, that's for sure. Favorites bouncing around. Now it's the 2 at 2-1. That's the one that took a little jog around the infield earlier, and Outrider had to catch, but apparently no worse for wear.
Hey, that sometimes is the one that's, that kind of stuff works sometimes.
Kind of crazy fast, huh?
It does. Hey, did you guys pay attention to some of these jug horses warming up?
I did not.
Did you see the last quarters they were going?
Yes, and that's what I was going to say. Even there, that's because they're getting them ready to roll, like literally roll into the first turn. So, yeah, they all of them, Tony, Nancy, Burks, it was all kind of copied for what they were all doing. It was like a copy.
That's always been one of my questions, because if you watch the Ohio sired horses around, which, I know everybody has their different way of doing things, but Chris Beaver and Ronnie Burke, particularly, their horses, they always turn a mile before they race, and they always are blitzed the last eighth of their warm-up mile. And I'm just surprised that usually people imitate success, but there hasn't been that many people that have imitated their warm-up style with their horses.
Well, I think we see that a lot here, especially with these 2- and 3-year-olds. They want to make sure they can get around the track. I mean, the guy, and it might be a little different here because they're the guys that train here all the time. But I think you'll see that, especially these horses coming in from these big tracks, coming on into the smaller track here, see how they'll get around the half and handle the surface, which is usually great. So I think that's why they do it, just especially those younger horses.
Yeah, when I got here on Sunday, and I walked across the track to make my way over to the grandstand, I walked across the track, and there were a few horses had gone over, and you could see their footprints in the track, and I looked and I thought, this track is impeccable right now. They had it so good on Sunday, and then they've had the 4 or 5 days of racing, and it's just gotten better.
Well, Greg Kuhn, that video we did for the Backstretch Buzz, he explained how they do that, and 30 years ago how he kind of had the madness behind the method, and it's just worked good, and basically taking that, the point is taking that clay surface that you get at the Red Mile and Poconos and whatnot, and bringing it on this type of surface, and that's how they do it every year. So if you haven't seen it, Backstretch Buzz, Greg Kuhn, it's a really good video.
So we're going to another group of Ohio breds here, Buckeye Stallion Series 2-year-old colts, and all the action right now is going to the horse, which we've seen it a number of times. A horse gets loose like the day before or 2 days before, you always bet that horse when you go.
People say that.
Always.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's
like rambunctious, huh?
Yeah.
Always.
Well, not to mention he was 3-to-1 morning line too.
Right. And Burke trains him.
Yeah, and Page, so it's a lot of good factors going in here.
So you get Chris Page, you get Ron Burke, you get 8-5 on this horse, but he's 1 for 8. And the interesting horse to me in here is Ronnie Gillespie does such a good job. And Rockin' Republic has been tearing it up on the fairs, 5 of 10 this year. Saw him a couple times at Cider Downs and really didn't probably get the result that you wanted to.
He drew bad last time, Yeah.
But this is a nice horse with a lot of gate speed and a good 4-to-1 price right now. With if you're a value guy, do you swing out with Ronnie Gillespie here with Rockin' Republic?
Yeah, he's going to be leaving. He's not going to give up the rail. I know that without a fight. So
yeah, you don't come to Delaware, draw the rail, and duck.
Right. Yeah.
Well, didn't we see Ronnie race one yesterday that was like 6-5? And he just didn't have it. He had to come first over. Total different style than the horse was used to racing at the fair. So it was a lot of racing for him, and it didn't work out. So maybe we can see a little bit of a difference. You're going to get him at 4-1 right now.
This horse has 5 wins. No one else in the race has more than 1 or 2, although he's been racing against Fair Stakes Company, and some of them have been in Sire Stakes and Buckeye Stallion.
Well, the line to be announced on Wakelet Jim, number 7, he just won here 2 days ago. I think he won the first race on Tuesday or something.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't Ron Steck train here?
Yes.
So he says, it's one of those circumstances like we're here, we might as well race as many times as we can.
Race a couple times, 3 times. Absolutely.
But it's getting track, the surface. I mean, it's a lot like the Red Mile where you could race week in and week out at the Red Mile and your horse gets sounder.
Right.
So, the surface here is, it's not completely the same clay surface that you get at the Red Mile, but it's a similar.
What about this, the weekend pass? Danny and Christy going to team up here again, but just post 8's just so tough. I mean, 2-1 more. You're going to get 7-2 right now. That outside post is tough.
Yeah.
You have to be 3 lengths better off the gate for the first turn.
Even if you're the best, I mean, they go into that first turn, and everybody's taking their shot because if you are the favorite, everybody wants the trip from you, so they're pushing you wide. You sometimes don't even clear till past the paddock up the backside.
That one raced well at Urbana in the Buckeye Stallion. Actually won at Northfield in Buckeye Stallion earlier in the season, but last few starts not as good.
It also depends on which I'm not updated on the points, which is where does Weekend Pass sit? What does he need to get into that final at Dayton? And
yeah, you can tell with 4 divisions of this today, some of these things need to be 1-2 to advance to the final. And that final goes for good money.
I think it's 60,000.
Yeah.
So I forgot to tell you guys this. Did you pay attention that Ocean Rock that he didn't even pull the plugs?
Barry would mention that, but yeah.
You did? Okay.
I couldn't yell to you down there, but I wanted to get a hold of Danny and let him know it was okay to go ahead and pull him now.
Yeah.
The winter circle. Yeah.
He said I should have pulled him and just went fast. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that was
should have went by 8 instead of 5 or whatever it ended up being. Well, we're getting ready to go to the gate for the 14th. Everybody, I hope, is getting excited as we have the first elimination coming up in the next race. So let's send it up as they go behind the gate for this 14th.
Horses approaching the starting gate. Heralding behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're up and pacing. Yankee Sparkle goes right out to grab the lead. Rockin' Republic gets away second. Marquez Express is third. As they race into the turn, taking a seat. Yankee Sparkle racing fourth. Sir Charles of Sky to the backside. Rose Run Walker, followed by Gray Phantom. Then comes Wiglet Jim, and treading the field, Weekend Pass. Down the backside to the first quarter mark. Rockin' Republic, the leader, opening panel 27-3. Into the turn, Yankee Sparkle is there second as they race around the turn, going to the 3/8 mark. It's Marquez Express racing third, pacing fourth. Coming to the outside, Sir Charles of Sky. Into the lane, coming to the halfway point. Passing the stands first time, Ron Gillespie and Rockin' Republic showing the way. Up on the outside, Marrakesh Express now second. Into the turn third, Yankee Sparkle halfway home, 57-2. Rose Run Walker is there fourth. Fifth on the outside, it's Sir Charles of Sky racing sixth. Gray Phantom out to follow the cover. Weekend Express on the inside. Down the backside now. Go on to the 3/4 mark. Field of pacers, we got 4 in, 4 out. Going to the 3/4 station in 1:26. Into the turn, Rockin' Republic continues to show the way by a length. Ready to move 3 wide on the outside. Here comes Charles of Sky. Now fourth, now third, now second. Coming to the outside, Rose Run Walker as well. Into the stretch, Rockin' Republic with the lead. They're closing on him. Ron Gillespie and Rockin' Republic. 154, 2/5.
Well, Dave, Rockin' Republic and Ronnie Gillespie get back to the winner's circle here today.
Yeah, that's a nice win for this horse. His other wins were all in Fair Stakes Company. He steps up to the Buckeye Stallion Series, and as Barry has mentioned from the rail, he was going to be sending, and he was never headed. This is going to the half. Rockin' Republic has got a good hold of him. Had an early challenge from Yankee Sparkle, but was certainly not going to let anyone go. Grabbed the lead in 27, I believe, at the quarter. Half, he really slowed it down to 57 and change, and then coming for home here, he gave him a little wheel disc slap, and Rockin' Republic had plenty to hold off all his chasers.
This is a really nice son of Pet Rockin'. I think one to keep an eye on coming back at 3 next year.
Yep. Tight between the 4, Sir Charles of Sky, and the 5, Yankee Sparkle for the place spot. Looked like Marrakesh Express was fourth, excuse me. 1-4-5-2.
The 2 races well. Comes back, picks up the 4 spot for.
Yep.
It's always cool to see these horses race on the fair circuit and then come here to Delaware and take these new lifetime marks. You actually kind of get to see what they're really made of and how fast they really can be. And he's impressive here today off that 57-2 half. So
yeah, that was this horse's best effort by far.
Did any of us have him?
I didn't write down you guys' picks, I'll be honest with you.
We did not.
That would be a no. Very even good.
we love the TV, the truck. Thanks, guys. No.
I like no pressure on that. I'm race secretary. No pressure for picks whatsoever. It's nice.
Well, it
I've
was
been
like
done for 3 days.
herding cats trying to get them from you.
Lather up. Number 1, Rockin' Republic. Dossie Minor of Springfield, Illinois. Ron Gillespie trains and drives. 2-year-old Gelly, Pet Rocket of My Julianne's Girl. 154-2, a lifetime mark. Final half 57, final quarter 28-2. 6 win and 11 this season for Rockin' Republic.
Well, there we see the winner's circle with Ronnie Gillespie and his nice 2-year-old Pet Rock gelding. Rockin' Republic picks up his 6th win on the year.
And, of course, up next is the main event, or the first of the main events, and we have the guaranteed pick 4 coming up, also starting in race 15. Here are your 14th race prices, though. Rockin' Republic, $780, $520, and $360. The 4 Sir Charles of Sky, $740, $480, and the 5 Yankee Sparkle, $520. Superfecta, 50-cent price, of course, just flipped off the screen. Dollar Perfecta paid $30.40, 50-cent try, $107.30. Pick 4 kicked back for 50 cents, $22.95. And the 50-cent super, $439.75. Looks like you're buying a washing machine or something with the crazy change on the end of some of these 50-cent payoffs.
Well, we sure hope people can buy some things by using our picks today, right, Dave?
Yeah. McDonald's, possibly.
Well, we're getting ready here. Oh, up to Roger.
14th race. Number 1, Rockin' Republic, the winner. Number 2, Marrakesh Express. 4, the 3, Rose Run Walker. 5, the 4, Sir Charles of Sky. 2, the 5, Yankee Sparkle. 3, the 6, Gray Phantom. 7, the 7, Wiggle It Jim. 8, and number 8, Weekend Pass. 6. Top down, 1, 4, 5. 2, 3, 7, 8, 6 on the bottom. The mile, 154, 2/5. It's time. 15th race. First elimination of the 75th Little Brown Jug. Win, place, show. Perfecta, trifecta. A guaranteed $15,000 pool for the pick 4. Races 15, 16, 17, and 18. In the 17th, scratch the 8, Patton Matters. In the 18th, scratch the 5, Living the Beach Life. Don't be shut out. Wager now.
Okay, well, we got 8 minutes to the 15th race. Dave Bianconi, we're going to get Dave Brower back on here after the break. Stay with us.
Sugar Valley Farm in Delaware, Ohio is proud to be a part of the sports rejuvenation in the Buckeye State. Dedicated to providing the best stallions available at any price point. Lather Up, who equaled the all-time record of 146, joins world champion Down by the Seaside. 2009 Pacer of the Year, Well Said. Mr. Wiggles, sire of 2015 Horse of the Year, Wiggle It Jiggle It. And $2 million winning trotter, Creatine. For more, log on to SugarValleyFarmStallions.com.
Today, the world looks a little different. Between face mask and no in-person events, it seems like we're missing out on everything. Even the Little Brown Jug. We might not be along the track cheering, but the horses are still off and pacing. And Absolute Impressions, the company you have trusted for your Brown Jug merchandise, has your 2020 commemorative apparel. So no matter where you are, you can place your order from your mobile device or computer. Go to littlebrownjug.com and purchase Jug History.
Bow River has been designing Little Brown Jug jewelry for over a quarter of a century. Go to bowriverjewelry.com to see our limited edition 75th anniversary Little Brown Jug pin and 50th anniversary Jugette pin under the Little Brown Jug tab. Browse our Standardbred collection, Equestrian collection, and our expanded Equestrian Bridal collection. bowriverjewelry.com. Original designs and quality you can trust.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out, Big D's. Since 1974, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at BigDWeb.com. Most orders ship that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
VMI Federal Credit Union is here for all your lending needs, whether buying a car, paying for college, or starting your family. Let VMI Federal Credit Union help turn your dreams into reality. With our first-time homebuyer program, adjustable or fixed-rate mortgage loans, and personalized member service, now is a great time to purchase or refinance. Our loan specialist will work with you each step of the way. Learn more at bmifcu.org or contact us at 800-233-6880. Let's make it happen together.